So I have another Q&A video for you guys. You've been submitting me questions via comments, and I have some here to address. By the way, if you have a financial question for me, go ahead and leave it below, and I'll try to get to it in my next video. Okay, the first question is, single mom here with a 19-year-old daughter still at home, though attending community college with no student loans. I'm working on my snowball. Should I have her as my accountability partner or a family member / close friend, or both? I'm thinking only because my daughter doesn't have bills, but family and friend members do, and also maybe I can help my family / friend with snowball. Thank you. First of all, I think it's amazing that you want to include your daughter in this situation, but I don't think that she should necessarily be your accountability partner, because an accountability partner, a good accountability partner, often has to tell you you're being an idiot. I have a really good friend, Jamie, who has kind of been my accountability partner throughout this process. And sometimes I have to message her and be like, I'm thinking of doing this thing. And she goes, you're dumb. And you don't want to create that situation with your daughter where she has to monitor you or where she feels like she has to police your actions. However, the great thing about accountability partner is you don't have to have just one. So while you may not want to involve her in the day-to-day money worries, you might want to have her involved in helping you create a budget or plan for sinking funds or future vacations, that kind of thing, so she gets to understand the process while she's still young enough and able to implement it into her life. I wish I'd had a mom at 19 who would have been like, hey, listen, I'm working on my budget. Let's make you one too, and let's work on this together. So maybe instead of her being your accountability, I'm having real issues with that word today. Accountability partner, you can be hers for your budget, for her budget. That said, you should definitely involve family and friend members. My Aunt Beth is also an accountability partner of mine. She's better at kind of helping me see the overall vision. She helped me create kind of my first master plan budget when I wanted to sit down and have a budget summit for the year. She helped me set goals for things that I wanted to accomplish and see the bigger picture. Whereas Jamie is awesome at like throwing things off of on a daily basis. And she's not afraid to be like, Sarah, you can't afford that. You have bigger plans than this. And she's the one that will tell me no. So I would involve her in budgeting and money and all of this stuff, but I wouldn't necessarily put her in that position to be the one that has to police your actions, because you still want to be her role model. So, and you want to be someone that she can come to for budgeting advice for her own budget. So yeah, go with the family and friend member for that aspect. Go with the kind of financy compadre with your daughter. And I think it's absolutely fantastic that you're doing this. Awesome. Okay. Here's a question, BG. Are you going to take a breather when you become debt free, or are you still going to be scorched earth to get baby step 3 knocked out? And when you start doing baby step 3, what is your goal amount? Okay, I am definitely taking a breather. I have been doing this for over 3 years. Yeah, this year is like scorched earth, but you know, last year it wasn't money everywhere either. I have been really going at this. I've been, last year I tried to pay off $10,000. The year before I tried to pay off $10,000. And the year before that, I was just trying to start living on a budget and figure that out. So yes, I'm absolutely going to take a breather. I'm not going to go at baby step 3 quite as hard as I have as baby step 2, but I also am going to have a lot of money to work with once I'm not giving it all to my Great Lakes anymore. And that's going to be really fun. So I do plan on starting baby step 3 savings immediately, as in probably half of what I normally put to my student loans is going to go to baby step 3 savings, and the other half is going to go to Sarah Has a Life Now fund, and it's going to be awesome. So yes, I am going to go hard at baby step 3, but I am going to probably do a couple of months of halfway. Half is being saved for baby step 3, half is being for like traveling and having fun and doing things that I haven't been able to do in a while because I've been going so hard. So, all right, and when I start doing baby step 3, what is my goal amount? I am going to do 6 months. Dave Ramsey recommends 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. I'm going all 6 because journalism is not the most steady of careers, and I have been out of work for 5 months before. That's what kickstarted this journey, is I got laid off. It took me 5 months to find another job. So I think 6 months is just about perfect. And you know, I make about $2,000 a month. So that multiplies out to a little over $10,000. And I can't wait to have $10,000 in the bank, just sitting there in case life goes awry, because there's not a whole lot in life that 10 grand can't fix, money-wise. Health issues, if I were to get some sort of like horrible disease or something, $10,000 wouldn't touch it. But there are a lot of situations in life that $10,000 can fix. Okay, next up, love the Q&A format. If I understood correctly, you mentioned books. Have you written ebooks? If so, where can we find them? I have not written any ebooks. People keep kind of encouraging me to do that. But 1, I don't have time right now. And 2, I'm still in debt. And people tell you not to take advice from other people. Dave tells you not to take advice from broke people, which kind of negates my whole channel because I'm giving advice and technically I'm in the negative. But I am working very hard to get out of debt. And that's something I might consider doing once I'm out, is if I think that I have something important enough to commit to paper. I think that would be a really cool thing to do, like the Budget Girl's Guide to Getting Out of Debt. would be a little bit fun. Tips and tricks to live a frugal, fun life on a budget or something. I don't know. Submit potential names below, because at the moment I think I'm just thinking more like I was told there would be cake or something. I like comedy books, so there's that. All right, maybe it would be a comedy finance book. I don't know. Right now I'm very focused on getting out of debt and nothing else. So, all right, next up. Maybe until my student loans are down, I'd rent, but I always see rent as a huge go nowhere thing. You're spending money towards nothing. You'll never own that place, etc. What are your thoughts on that? Also, I will have a debt of some $70,000 when all is said and done. Any suggestions? I won't have to worry about it for another year, but I'm just wanting to start early. Okay, this comment was on a video, on the Q&A video I did recently, where I said I'm not planning on buying a house anytime soon. And that is because I am not going to live in Mena, Arkansas for the rest of my life. I don't know where I'm going to settle. And I don't think it's super smart to buy a house when you are in debt and you don't have the money to be able to put towards a healthy down payment, and you don't have the money to fix the roof when it leaks or when something goes awful. And this person seems to me to be saying that I'm just wasting that money by renting because I'll never own this place. Here's the thing. I don't want to own this place, or pretty much anywhere else I have rented. There are, one, if you're broke, you shouldn't buy a house because you're not going to be able to afford that house when things go wrong. Dave Ramsey always says when you buy a house and you don't have the money for it, you're inviting Murphy to move into the spare bedroom and he's gonna just shake crap up. So I am perfectly happy to rent until I, 1, become more financially established, and 2, figure out where I want to live for a while. I'm not gonna buy a house until I do both of those things. There's also something called a missed opportunity cost when you anchor yourself in one place with a mortgage. Someone who owns a house and is stuck there by a mortgage doesn't necessarily have the ability to pick up and move if a better job offer comes along, or is able to invest that money that they are throwing into the house and trying to build equity on it into other things. There are a bunch of really good articles out there on why it's a complete misnomer that renting versus buying is wasting money while renting. So I'm not hating on any homeowners, absolutely not. If you are in a good situation where you feel like you are financially ready, if you are mature enough to own a house, and if you are able to handle that in your life, I think you absolutely should. But you should do it when you're in a good financial situation. You should have the recommended percentage down to put, and you should be able to pay it off with a 15-year fixed mortgage. Issues with the talkie today. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably buy a house one day, but it's probably not going to happen within the next 5 years or so. As for your in school, or I don't know how you accumulated the $70,000, but I would start making a plan to get a hold of that. So you won't have to worry about it for another year, but you're wanting to start early. If you're currently still taking on debt, which it sounds like, because you say you'll have $70,000 when it's all said and done, I would figure out a way to stop continuing to accumulate debt. Just based on the comment, it doesn't sound like you're on the same plan that I'm on, but if you're interested in the plan, you start with budget and you quit accumulating debt and you figure out how to live within your means. So that is what I would recommend, because you're going to have to pay that $70,000 some odd dollars off. And if you wait on it for another year, that's going to cost you several $1,000s in interest, and it's going to cost you several $1,000s in interest every single year until you pay it off. Good luck to you. All right. Are you planning on doing your debt-free scream on Dave's show? Maybe you've answered this already. I have. Here's the thing, though. You have to apply to be on Dave Ramsey's show. Now, I absolutely intend to apply to go do my debt-free scream, and I've been told, I'm part of the Dave Ramsey YouTube crazies chat online, and occasionally Kelly will chime in and answer questions from us and stuff like that, and she says, as she has said before, that most people who follow the plan get in. I mean, they ask you if you don't use credit cards and stuff like that. They aren't going to put you on the show if you didn't follow Dave's plan and you still use credit cards and you want to talk about how you're smarter than Dave. I'm not smarter than Dave. His plan is the way that I've been able to get myself out of this debt and will continue to get out of this debt. So yeah, I absolutely plan on going to Tennessee and doing my debt-free scream, as long as they accept my application, which I hope they will. And I think they probably will, but I just don't want to promise that I will go do a debt-free scream, because that is not entirely within my control. But I will apply, and if it is accepted, I will absolutely go and do my debt-free scream for Dave and try real hard not to cry. Yeah, I think I'll be so excited. I might just not be able to actually speak and just so there's that. Okay. How do I save money? Because I try and it never happens. Can you please help me? Yes. If you're trying to save money and it is just not happening, then I have a feeling you're probably not budgeting. And if you are budgeting and you're still trying to save and it's not happening, you're putting a line in your budget for savings, but things keep coming up to eat that savings, I would say stick with it. Keep budgeting. Try to anticipate those expenses that keep coming up and eating your savings. If you're not budgeting, make a budget. Put a line in the budget that says savings, have it be a zero-based budget where you are anticipating every dollar that you're going to make and you're following that budget. It's actually not that complicated. It's hard to implement, but it's not a complicated process to understand. If you have a budget and you say, this is what I'm going to spend all my money on, and then you follow that plan, you'll save every single time. I'm going to link a video below of how to do a beginner budget, and I hope you take a look at it. Good luck. All right, and last question. Why do you pay monthly on your insurance? Isn't it cheaper if you pay yearly? Happy birthday. Sometimes. I recently did a renegotiation of my insurance, and I did a quote with pretty much every company that exists, and I ended up actually with my same company, just at a different coverage level. I took off liability and comprehension, and it is not cheaper to do it annually. I was completely willing to go ahead and move some money out of my savings to pay for 6 months and then sinking fund for 6 months at a time if it saved me any money. But with some companies, it just doesn't. They don't offer any sort of additional discounts to pay in lot. I don't know why. some do. This particular one didn't, and the other one that I was considering going with didn't either. I did have a couple of companies that I did quotes with that offered a, pay for 6 months or pay for a year at a time and we'll give you this discount. And if they had been the cheapest overall, I would have gone with them and I would have done that. So I would have if it had been cheaper in my situation. It just wasn't. And it wouldn't have really changed my budget either way though, because what I would have done is I would have taken some money out of savings to pay for the first 6 months. And then for the next 6 months, I would have divided that cost into 6, and I would have taken that out of my budget and put it into a savings account sinking fund in that amount, so I'd have the money when I was going to pay it. So either way, I would be allocating money every month for it, but it wasn't going to save me literally even a penny, so I didn't do it. They didn't even offer it as an option that I could, well, they offered it as an option. I could have paid for as many months as I wanted, but it wasn't going to save me any money. Okay, so I hope that answered some of your questions. I am going to list all of those down below. Please leave your questions for me and I will address them. Have a wonderful day.